Kia ora whānau, welcome along to the New Zealand American Football Federation's Flag Football National Champs. My name's Mark Peard, with me Brendan McGurk, and I tell you what, Brendan, 10 teams from all around the country here competing to be the national champs. It's an exciting weekend.
It's a great weekend. As you said, we've got 10 teams from around the country: Auckland, Hamilton, Hawke's Bay, Wellington, Nelson and Christchurch, all competing for a chance for our national trophy.
Now, for those who are familiar with the NFL, the 11-a-side game, it's very similar. Just take away a few things, yeah?
Yeah, just a few things, mainly the helmets, the pads, the girdles, the tackles. So what constitutes a tackle in this game is a pull of the flag, similar to like you would see in Ripper Rugby.
Perfect. All right. Well, without further ado, let's head into some of the games.
None of you people can tell me to stop. Lower the lights down, hand over my crown, hand over my heart. I do this for my town, I do this for my crowd. So turn me up real loud. My time. None of you people can tell me to stop. Turning the track up, I'll never go back down. Hand over my heart. I do this for my town, I do this for my crowd. So turn me up real loud. My time. None of you people can tell me to stop.
That's right, whānau. Welcome along to Flag Football Nationals here at Unitec Grounds in West Auckland. And it's a beautiful sunny day. You'll be joining us to be watching the Spitfire third and fourth game against the Nelson Honey Badgers. Down sideline, Paul Lawrence. Paul!
Mark, I'm doing you a bit of an injustice here, mate. It's actually my team out behind me.
He's stripping off.
I've got to leave you and go play myself. So we'll come back in the next game, but do a great job up there by yourself, buddy. You got this.
Wonderful. Thank you for that, Paul Lawrence. Of course, yes, Paul Lawrence, keep an eye out for him for the AFC Spitfire Christchurch team, wearing the number 8. And, of course, my sideline commentator. And then my co-commentator has also been called out to play number 10, Brendan McGurk. He'll be taking some reps and also playing defence. Now, if you're just joining us, we of course are playing flag football, one of the fastest growing sports here, and you'll see the AFC Spitfires team put up there on the screen from Christchurch, travelled all the way up for this weekend and have performed admirably. We'll be playing against their South Island counterparts, the Nelson Honey Badgers, for third and fourth place. So plenty to play for today, and let's just see whether that time in the commentary box and some time to reflect for our friend Brendan McGurk will turn into some points on the field. The wind has picked up, but it's a lovely sunny day here in West Auckland. The Nelson Honey Badgers have played very, very well and were involved in a game that went 33-all recently to find themselves in this third and fourth playoff game. And it went down to points difference in the end, and they've got a very, very tiny team. Keep an eye on that number 5, Jono Entwistle, the QB. Nelson Honey Badgers, a very tidy player, very strong player, great arm, and plenty of versatility. So I'm looking forward to this game getting underway between two South Island teams. Of course, 10 teams from all around the country joined us this weekend for the New Zealand American Football Federation's Flag Football Nationals. As I say, teams all around the country, including Auckland, Hamilton, Hawke's Bay, Nelson, Christchurch, and they're all battling to be number 1 here at the Unitec Grounds in West Auckland. It's 11-a-side, it's been stripped down to 5-a-side football without all the pads and the helmets and any of the contact. Instead, they wear flags on their hips. One team in yellow, which will be the Christchurch team, AFC Spitfires. They're wearing the yellow tags. And up the other end of the pitch, Nelson Honey Badgers will be wearing the green tags. They go through their warm-ups. Big matchup between these two teams. As I say, both teams finding great success this weekend, and Honey Badgers unlucky not to be playing in the championship game, considering they put 33 points up on the board and drew it with the Hawke's Bay Heat, who are one of the favourites to win it all. So they will be disappointed that they are actually playing in this game, but that's how it all works out. You can't have a draw. We do the count back, and the Heat found their way through, so plenty of excitement to look forward to. We love having you on board, and if you are interested and want to get involved, check out the nzaff.co.nz website for your nearest club and a chance to join and get in on the fun, because flag football is quick becoming a sport around the world that is exploding, and we do have our national team. It's called the New Zealand Mako. Of course, some of these players have played in tournaments overseas for the New Zealand Mako. Some of them will be keen to try and get themselves into that looking. Now, there was supposed to be a tournament earlier on this year for a world flag football tournament. It didn't come out because, of course, COVID struck and the tournament got delayed. So this is a bit of everything, man. This is where we are now. We're playing the national tournament, and we start off with the Spitfires in possession. Let's see how their offense goes. A little wee rugby pass forward, and they will be quite happy to carve off a good 10 yards. And that's a nice wee start for the AFC Spitfire. Number 5 taking that ball in, Ethan Hawkins, and getting himself some yardage, getting themselves out of that end zone, their own end zone, of course. If they're caught in there and you lose your tag in there, you'll lose yourself 2 points as well. The big fella, Tupu Pataya, as the quarterback, and flings a little wee one, but it's a bit short. Shin Kato was the recipient, well, expected recipient, and he just threw it a little bit too short there, Tupu, so they'll go back to the drawing board. You can see out there he's got all his plays written down on his wristband. They all look in. A bit of a cheeky look too there from the Honey Badgers. Nice and close to the huddle to see what they're running. And it's receivers bunched to the left. Tupu gets the ball. Big one out there. And carving off another 15 yards. And we're moving up the field. So what are we looking at here? Probably about 10 yards left to get the first down. Remember, if you make it to halfway, you get to reset those downs, and it's another four plays to try and get into the end zone. You can do it one of two ways. You can either run it, or you can pass it forward. It's part of the tags. Tupu gets it, and a lot of pressure on him, and he's put it up, and it's fallen into the hands, fortuitously, into the hands of Ethan Hawkins. So Spitfires stay alive for another one, and we are moving forward. They'll get another 4 downs to try and make it into the end zone, and that was a bit of a lucky one there. Tupu, I think he knows it got a little lucky. Honey Badgers will be a little annoyed they didn't just whack that ball down. So he's running 2 wide receivers close. Well, they're all bunched in close to the centre. A couple of quick outs, and that's the streak. They're going to their favourite target, and what do we got? It's either a touchdown or an intercept, one of 2 ways. And calling it a touchdown. There's a bit of confusion between the officials. I don't feel like I can say it's touchdown until it... Are they going to give it? They have. Great touchdown. Great grab there from Ethan Hawkins, who seems to be the favourite target at the moment. And what a grab. So, Spitfire on the board early. And it's looking like they're going to go for the one-up. We've got flags being blown left, right and centre. The wind started to pick up out here in West Auckland. And Tupu Pataya with a bit of pressure on him, still puts the bomb up, and Honey Badgers managed to defend that. So, first point scored by the Spitfire, and it's looking really, really good for them. That was a nice march up the field considering the wind at their face. And now we get our first chance to have a look at number 10, Brendan McKirk, who obviously joined me in commentary earlier, and now he's playing. It's a bit of what happens here. It's what everyone does. It's how we roll here with the football. Play offense, play defense, play commentary. All in one. Honey Badgers with the ball, and Jono Entwistle, their quarterback, as I say, one to watch. He's got a cannon and gets rid of that ball nice and quick. To the number 41, Malcolm Mitchell. And I can tell you, they are drawing up the plays, and Entwistle has stacked those receivers nice and close. He's got 2 to his right, 2 to his left, sorry, and a little out route there, and well defended there from the AFC Spitfire. Coming through, Entwistle will have a couple more plays to try and make it through to the halfway line. And Martin Stowers comes up the ladder, joins me in commentary. And Martin, I'm guessing with the Metro Lions top on. Pretty happy with that last performance.
Yes, debut tournament for our guys, so you know, a work in progress over the weekend, but we really grew each league as games progressed, so happy result for us.
Mate, it's all about growing. As Jono Entwistle throws a little rocket in there and it's put down. It's all about growing, and that's what the sport's doing, right? It's good fun. The lack of contact means you can play it for longer. It's a lot more enjoyable. It's like touch on steroids.
Yeah, well, I guess, you know, a lot of our guys have been in and around it. We just, as a club, haven't been organised for these sort of tournaments to date. But, you know, you saw there's plenty of ability in our team out there. So nice to sort of put it together, you know.
Very, very tidy team as Entwistle waits for the snap. Rolls out to his left, bit of elusiveness. He's making Brendan McGurk work for it. Bit of frustration shown there from Entwistle, knowing the panic. They're on fourth down. They needed players to go long. No one was going long. Frustration indeed. Martin, how long have you been involved in the game itself around the Auckland region, and how have you seen it grow?
Well,
not necessarily flag, but football in general.
Football in general, I've been since 1981 pretty much. For us, especially a part of our Metro club, we're kind of a family team, so yeah, we've seen the game go from real grassroots to where we are today, so lots of different stages along the way, and you know, this is just another stage in the growth of the sport.
Totally. Such a young crew too that seems to be running. I mean, there's a couple of old fellas out there, but seems to be lots of youthful enthusiasm out there as Tupu Pitaya throws up a bit of a lob and wasn't happy with that. I don't think anyone was happy with that play, but yeah, there's a lot of youth out there on the fields, and I mean, it's encouraging, right, when you see the people. I mean, there's a lot of American football fans in New Zealand, not only of watching the NFL but playing it on PlayStation and playing it in fantasy. This just seems to be the right way to sort of vent, not only turn them from fans but into athletes themselves.
Yeah, well, you know, youth is where all sport starts. You know, you've got to start with the young ones coming through, and you know, especially in this year, this is a nice window of opportunity where guys can get an opportunity to really step into clubs, and this is a great example for them to see what they can do and how they can play football. You know,
totally. Super, just threaded the needle there. Ethan Hawkins picking up another great big catch and marching it down the field, and AFC Spitfire looking good as they close in on another first down and a chance to reset the clock. They'll have 4 more plays now to try and find the end zone. And I mean, with a family team like Metro Lions, you see it's not only the dads play, but the uncles played, and now the kids are starting to play. It's that real evolution of families within a club.
100%. You know, I mean, we've got cousins and cousins and cousins, but also we're getting the women, so we're getting the sisters and the nieces and the even some of the aunties getting involved as well. You know, like I say, it's a family sport, so it suits us as a club to support all grades, whether it's the senior, whether it's the young kids, or whether it's the woman getting involved as well.
Beautiful. We just witnessed an absolute dime there from Ethan Hawkins, pulled in that one, and Spitfire straight in there and score again. So now they will be looking to try and add the extras. 1 point. Another big one. And there's our sideline commentator getting himself in on the action. Paul Lawrence pulls in the extra point. Was it Paul Lawrence? No.
Bradley.
No, Bradley. He'll claim it though, Paul Lawrence. It's actually Bradley Fraser who got up, pulled it in, and got his feet in. And
11 minutes to the half.
It's a very, very promising start from AFC Spitfire, considering the Nelson Honey Badgers were in a duel with the Heat just before. And they've taken a bit out of them. So the receivers stacked in the middle. Entwistle. A nice pass and great elusiveness there. Mitchell Bateman. And this is the great thing about the flag football is, I mean, Mitchell Bateman must not weigh more than 30 kgs, but here he is out here on the field, being elusive and enjoying himself, and he's playing against dudes who are big as well.
Well, there's some real fundamental techniques in flag football that translate to the contact game, especially in the skill positions. So, skill positions not so much about size, it's about speed and technique, footwork, what you do downfield, zone, all the reads, etc. Really transferable skills.
Yeah, and it looks like Jono Entwistle's put the bomb back in his pocket. It's like he's just methodically worked his way down the field. He knows he's got the wind at the back, and you're very tempting to let it go. He's thinking twice about putting the big lobs up and actually just carving chunks and making their way up the field methodically. So, see what he does in this one. Jono Entwistle gets the ball back. Bit of a head fake. McGurk still chasing. There's Bateman again, and he's just so elusive, and he makes it. It's a wonderful touchdown. One-handed. Remember, it's not like rugby where you need to put the ball down over the try line. You just need to break the plane, and see that underarm again. It's a nice little wee sidearm throw, and look at that. Bateman stretching the ball out, goes over the pylon, and a wonderful touchdown. So, Honey Badgers, Nelson back in the game. Returning serve. And now going to try and add the extras with 1 point. The receivers split very, very wide. I'm going to assume. There we go. Down to centre. And they will add the extras on. So, we've got a game on our hands.
13-7. Offense.
And should be an exciting end to the half as that wind starts to pick up. Once again, we get to see AFC Spitfire. Of course, these boys all in from Christchurch, up for the long weekend, and had a lot of fun whilst doing it. So it's cool to see them out here playing off in this third and fourth playoff game. Tupu Mataya takes the snap, shoulder up there. Nice little lob over. They'll carve off. Shin Kato will carve off. Good 15 yards there. Make their way a bit closer to the halfway line. Those reset downs. It's one of two ways really, isn't it, Martin? Where you can either hiff it up the field and try and take it all in one, or you can just methodically carve it up.
Well, this one it really is a factor, and you hiff it up, it's going to sit up there for a long time if you're not right on the money there. So you're throwing up 50-50 balls in this wind if you're going into it.
Yeah, Tupu Pataya knows a little better, but that one got away from him. Floated it up there. The build of Tupu, you'd expect him to be able to throw it through the wind and some. He's a big lad, and I'll tell you what, if this wasn't flag football, I don't think you'd be that keen to run and try and sack him if we were playing contact. He's a big lad. He's got a big rocket on him as well. So Tupu Pataya listed as both the quarterback and a defensive back. So obviously got some wheels on him as well. Can stay in there.
Well, you normally find it's the big guys that really do have that arm strength, especially into this wind. That's the right guy with the right strength.
There we go, another perfectly thrown spiral, but well defended by the number 7, Brooke Keats, getting up over the top of Ethan Hawkins, and gets his mid on it and pushes that ball away. And it's looking like this will be it for them. It's their 4th attempt. They just need to make it over halfway, and they had this opportunity in the first drive that they had, Tupu Pataya, in the game before, and he was tempted. He saw a streak runner, and he had someone open in the middle, and still threw it for the streak runner. There we go, it's a lateral back. A lot of pressure on Ethan Hawkins. He's going to have to hiff it up. It's gone high, and it's an intercept. Honey Badgers sniffed that one out. So these laterals and these double quarterback sets, not something we see often, Martin, in the 11-man side game. I mean, we do see the Wildcats, but that's certainly unique to the flag football scene.
Generally don't get that much time back there to pack the shopping baskets. So if you're like looking at the price for too long, someone will come and sack you. So.
Yes. So we get to have another look at Jono Entwistle as he takes the snap. Fires it back straight over the middle. Number 34. Shane Gordon. Shane Gordon, I've heard rumours, a police officer but more than that, they in fact work for the armed defender squad. So the guns are out, and it certainly looks like he's built for action.
It's all about the offensive weapons. That's how you score with the points.
That's right. So again, John Entwistle finding his way easily. It's a little rugby pass through. That's the beauty of growing up here in New Zealand. You learn them all in a spin move, and almost made it in. He's so elusive. Number 10, Mitchell Bateman. Actually, you'll know him well, and a player who I was enjoying calling. You've got a wee running back who, when I say wee, he's not wee, but he's certainly built stoutly, who I was very impressed with his running. Number 14, is it Thomas?
Young Thomas Nan, that's
yeah,
correct. Yeah,
man, he's had an incredible weekend of football as this player has been.
Yeah, like you say, built low to the ground, but also his ability yards after the catch. So he really runs through the catch and carries on after he's caught the ball, and that's really how you make those extra yardage. Yards after the catch are critical.
And it's something about pulling the move, that spin move, right at the right time when you know that the player's lunging for the flag, and you do it in a way that just, it's completely elusive and no one can get to you.
Yeah.
Head back in. Entwistle, he's got two wide receivers to his left, one really, really wide, and there it is. It's Gordon, and he pulls it in, and they're giving him the touchdown. Officer Gordon, we'll call him. What a touchdown that was. Entwistle, of course, has played for Mako, New Zealand team, and he's got a gun on him.
Yeah, great arm.
Nice little sideward slant too when he wants to. Just gets that ball sideways. Not too dissimilar to Patrick Mahomes, or I don't want to draw too short to put him in the same book as Patrick Mahomes. But I'll go for the 1 point, and ball put down. Oh, bit of confusion there between the referees. I would say that ball hit the ground. And they have finally decided. And the officials, they've got a tough game out. I mean, it's a tough job out there. You've got a lot of chirping from a lot of the players. And they do work well as a team, though. So now we'll get to see the AFC Spitfires, see what they can do in return. This Christchurch team housing a few names, and they've got 3 wide receivers stacked to the left, which would be interesting. There's our sideline eye reporter this time. Finds himself 5 yards, Paul Lawrence, number 8. And Tupu Pitaya going to march them up into this wind again. As much as you'd like to flex and throw it hard, that ball will certainly sit up. So the Honey Badgers in front so far. Wide receivers streak up the field. There goes the big one. Pitaya, and he's disappointing. Shin Kato probably should have brought that one in right in the bread basket. He was being well defended though by Mitchell Bateman. Bit of a ruckus for the ball, and the ball ended up falling on the ground. So Tupu, he actually lobbed that beautifully. That went up over the defender, and it was bread basket kind of stuff. I wanted that one to come in. How about the talent evolution here in New Zealand, Martin? What have you noticed in terms of these players? Are they coming in a bit more smarter rather than just being, I've seen this on the TV, now they're all drawing the plays up on the PlayStation. They're all watching the NFL on Mondays, and are they a bit of a smarter crew coming through, or are they still green as all?
I mean, back in our day, we barely had television, to be honest with you. You know, television coverage is something of NFL, of the sport is something we kind of take for granted. But, I'm back in the days of 1 and 2 TV channels. You had one game a year if you're lucky, and it's probably the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So the guys get the opportunity to, obviously Madden, online, YouTube. You pick a lot up by just watching the game. The more you watch, the more you learn.
And look at us putting our New Zealand flair into it. We don't need to be passing the ball overhand. We can do it with a little wee rugby shovel pass as well.
Well, like you mentioned, the laterals, it's something that we do naturally. You see some of those breakdown plays in the US, and we know how to put a shovel pass on. It comes second nature to us.
For a lot of people who are new to the game, that's what happens, right? You look at a game of NFL and you say, well, why didn't he pass it? why wouldn't he just pass it backwards to someone? And it's like, there is a big difference, and that's something that we should probably bring to people's attention. When you've got a helmet on and your peripheral vision is completely out, you've got shoulder pads on as well, and you're constrained by your jersey, it's actually quite difficult to put a little lateral on. It's not as free-flowing as what you would get in, say, rugby. There's another good catch there, but not much yardage gained at all for the AFC Spitfire, and Ethan Hawkins again the target. Tupu Taya looking to try and score before the half ends. Countdown is on. Haven't quite found the line of scrimmage yet. Paul Lawrence trying to steal a good 3 yards. There we go. Tupu Taya puts the bomb up. It's long, it's high, it's unsuccessful. And they've got another play to go. Third down. Tupu again really having to force this one into the wind, which is hard to do. Although they're willing to do it. They've had a few strikes now into the end zone and nothing quite being pulled off. Wide receivers one out to the right, to the left, and they're doing the old double quarterback option. Oh, bit of a dummy. It's a bomb. It's up high. It's long. It could be. Oh, well defended. And a flag is thrown, which could be on the defender. It's usually the case in the end zone when that type of stuff goes down. Pass interference on the offense. Pass interference on the offense. You don't often see that. As I was thinking, it was probably going to be little Mitchell Bateman who was back there battling away, and he's got himself into a sticky situation, and that wasn't the case. So that brings the half to a close. We've got an all drawn up game, 13 points apiece. Spitfires taking the badges, the Battle of the South, trying to take out the third or fourth placing game here at the Nats. And I'll tell you what, Martin, some of the talent that's been on display today from your team, but also around the entire tournament, it's young talent, it's enthusiastic talent, and it must bring someone of your status and how you've been in the game a lot of joy to see all these players out here.
Yeah, I mean, it's great to see, especially the guys from out of Auckland come up here. I mean, these guys train hard, they play hard, and they've got a good standard of football. So, a bit of pressure on us guys in Auckland to sort of start playing the game to their level as well. So as much as we play a bit of flag, unorganised, but nice to be in this environment where we've got to come with our game because it's our backyard. We're Auckland. Everyone expects Auckland to be, good enough. So nice to see the likes of Nelson and Hawke's Bay, Wellington and Canterbury, all these guys coming up here and really sort of showing us what standards we've got to work to. Totally.
And there are a few regions that only play flag football, which is an advantage and a disadvantage to a certain degree, but the Napier team, the Hawke's Bay team, they focus mainly on their five-a-side flag football. Same again with the Honey Badgers and Nelson. So they look sharp. They're used to it. They know the routes. They get to toy with it. And when you look at the Aucklands and the Wellingtons, who are still playing the contact sport 11 aside, they turn up to these tournaments and they're taught a few lessons. So we'll get into
that's just time and repetition of reps. I mean. You would have noticed our team got progressively better over the weekend, but our preparation time would have been nothing that these guys have had. We've really just come together. Auckland, playing at a different level with everything in terms of what we could do for a while. So we really haven't had that much preparation time to come into this, but we pulled it together in the end. And we got a big wake-up call. First game, Nelson first up yesterday. That just showed us where we need, the standard we need to play to.
Do you remember the score?
No,
you don't have to. They tune you up. There we go. Honey Badgers back out on offense, and Entwistle with a great dime there. That was into the wind, remember that. He was pretty close to being sacked by our man, Brendan McGurk, and he got the pass away, and they will march it up. First play of the second half, and the Honey Badgers straight into it. Whistle looking to that wristband, showing the players what they want to do. Here's the snap, the break, sorry. Wide receivers all bunched in close to the centre. Gordon spins out just a short route to the left, and it's a wonderful catch from Bateman. number 10. Playing the role of the Julian Edelman, or if you're a football fan, maybe a Beasley. Should we put a Beasley on him? Playing for the Bills. Just that short, sharp route, good set of hands, elusive, gets more than you bargained for. Mitchell there, the centre, makes the ball back, gains another 15 yards for his flags taken from him, and it's pretty methodical right now. Johnny Entwistle just marching this Honey Badgers team straight down the field. Some of these guys, I mean, I know Brendan was saying to me he can't sit down, or he seizes up and he won't be working again. So I mean, it's tough on the body, right, for some of these guys who have been here and played 5, 6, 7 games back to back to back, and they're starting to feel it today.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, we got to make the most of the opportunity that we have. So we squeezed all the games, I guess, into the tournament. But yeah, a good workout. And if you haven't had a full year of sport, which a lot of people haven't, a real workout for a lot of guys.
As Entwistle throws one into the end zone, he was looking for Mitchell Bateman, and Mitchell was well covered. Spitfire playing some pretty good defence, and this will be 4th down and their final opportunity to try and bank some points. It's a close one for the 3rd and 4th game. AFC Spitfire 13, Nelson Honey Badgers 13. That wind still whipping over the Unitec ground here in West Auckland. It's up. Oh, there he is, Officer Gordon. Great touchdown, great set of hands there, Shane Gordon, and a wonderful pass there from Johnny Entwistle. Just zipped it in there. And you could see Gordon readjusting in the air, turned around, caught it 2 hands, brought it in. He's a soldier, and he just straight in, it's all focus, brings the ball, places it back down, back into the huddle, waiting for what we're doing for the 1-point conversion.
That's it.
That's what you want on your team, as the wide receivers very, very split now, and Bateman's open in the end zone, but they're going for Gordon again, and that's a wonderful catch. That is brilliant, dragging those toes. Clean set of hands, he was fast, it was sharp. He cut up over the middle and found him at the end of the end zone.
Like you say, dragging those toes, that's a real technique guys really work on now, and you know, that's a direct result of what you see on television and how hard they work on those corners, you know. Great to see that level of skill.
Absolutely.
And guys doing that themselves here.
And those familiar with the NFL rules and college rules, it's like college ruling when it comes to feet and bounds here with flag football. You only need 1 foot down, but it always pays to drag the toes and make sure you get both feet down to prove to the referees that they won't take that away.
And you want to prove to the scouts that you can do it at the next level too.
Absolutely, yeah. You want to put down the police badge and get scouted from an overseas team. It's the best way of doing it.
Let's go, guys. 2nd down.
So the Honey Badgers 20 points to 13 ahead now. Tupu gets the help of the wind, but almost turned it over. Considering he's been working so hard against the wind for 1 half, now he gets the wind at his back. The last thing he wanted to do was turn it over on that first possession. So we'll see how they go again. Honey Badgers, the man with the hand up in the air is your rusher. That's the guy who's attacking the quarterback. He has to make himself known. Means he's going to come rushing towards the quarterback and put pressure on Tupu, who puts up a laser there.
Good defense.
And it's well defended, and that never looked open. So the Honey Badgers, Nelson Honey Badgers, doing it on attack and now on defense. And Tupu Pataya is under some real pressure back there. This must be 4th down. So if this doesn't connect and they don't make it past halfway, we will see a turnover on downs, and the Honey Badgers really get a chance to put themselves in the favourite position Here we go. Devo holds it, lobs it. There we go. It's long. Oh, great hands, great play. His favourite target again, Ethan Hawkins, takes the catch, is aware of where the out of bounds part is aware of where halfway is, knows that if he gets the ball over that line, they'll get another 4 chances in this game and another chance to score. So wonderful awareness all round there from Ethan Hawkins and a great time thrown by Tupu Pataya. Honey Badgers will be a little annoyed by that after working so hard for the first 4 downs to make sure that they contain them, and then that happens.
The wind on the back of his shoulder there really helping too, eh?
Yeah, dragged it in. Here we go, another rugby pass, and that ball has been dropped. Ethan Hawkins, he goes from hero to 0 with that one. That one was an easy one to catch. He caught the tough one, and then the rugby pass got away from him. Here we go again. You can see the hand up in the air, the defending man. That means, of course, he is going to be attacking the quarterback. So the quarterback is aware, defenders are aware. The Spitfire running a bunched set of receivers. And Hawkins again is the target, but he's up against a lot, and there's a pick, 1 foot in, and it's intercepted. That is a good play. 0-0, Ben McManus. Just the awareness again to look down. Where is the outline? I'll make sure I get one of my feet in at least, and there he goes. So, look through some of the replays, and of course that was a big play there, getting them the first down opportunity, but then turned over. I mean, it was well defended there. That's when the old quarterback has a favourite and doesn't care how many people are on him. He's going to throw it there. We can turn over to Jono Entwistle, the QB for Honey Badgers. And that's a nice play again for the man who made the pick. 0-0's Ben McManus becomes the recipient of a pass now, so he's done it on defence, and that's the great thing about football in general, right? Nowadays, it's not about just being a superstar on offence, you get out there on D as well.
Yeah, and I guess in this version too, you know, you get plenty of opportunity to play both ways too. You know, yeah, I guess the skill sets do transfer from offence to defence, and once they throw it up, it's anybody's ball, so good time to compete.
Yeah, Jono Entwistle again. There was nothing going there. That was a poor pass indeed. It's the third down now. Jono wanted that one back. Went through his progressions, saw the man was open and threw it to the ground, which can happen. Can happen, the ball can get away from you. I get the feeling that's what happened there with Jono Entwistle. So, 2 wide receivers to the left. Looks like some streaks going on there, and another great play there from Gordon. He made the catch, and he's taken it. I think the defender pulled the wrong tag, and he's suffering a bit there. Yep.
Yeah, there's plenty of incidental contact in this game. You know, it's everybody's competing, so
yeah,
you get in close. It's everyone's ball. Who wants it the most?
And the tags are precariously hanging in an area where accidents can happen. As Bateman again shows his evasiveness, spins twice and could go all the way. Yes, he does. That is sensational.
Great move.
It's a swivel of the hips. It's a spin around, and Mitchell Bateman. Look at this. Whoop, bang, arms up, and makes it through.
That'll make the highlights.
Better. That was great work. The kind of player you want. Positive, quick, fast feet, and plenty of elusiveness with a solid set of hands. Mitchell Bateman's got it all here for the Nelson Honey Badgers. They set up for the 1 point. Johnny Entwistle has 2 wide receivers nice and close to the centres as they break out. And Gordon comes in over the middle, and Entwistle gets free and rolled out to his right and had the big centre sitting there waiting to take it in. Wonderful play from the Honey Badgers. Malcolm Mitchell following it off with that extra point, and we get to have another look. The AFC Spitfire from Christchurch as the Badgers move out to a 2-touchdown lead. And I mean, we've seen we've seen both these teams now for the first half with the wind and against the wind, and it seems to be the Honey Badgers that have dealt with it best. Here we go. Tupu let it rip, but I think there was contact with him. Again, Family Jules might have taken a bit of a tapping there, so the flag was thrown, and I can assure you folks at home, this is not a common occurrence in flag football, as it's the first time in any game I've seen any contact there, and it's just so happened to happen twice in the last 5 minutes in this one game. So, yeah, the defender came running through, swung an arm out there, and poor old Tupu Taia felt the full brunt of it and was killed over. So tags get reattached. The meat and veg gets readjusted, and the flag gets picked up off the ground, and we're back into it, folks. See the AFC Spitfire have another chance on offense with that wind at their back. Paul Lawrence will be hiking the ball back to Tupu Taia, and he has wide receivers split to the left, and he's showing evasiveness there from the big fella. He lets a rocket go, but it's well defended. Keats getting in there, being a menace. And Tupu showing a clean set of heels there, rolling out to his left and then firing his cannon.
Yeah, well, he was off balance when he threw that. You know, he was kind of not the natural side to be throwing when you're rolling that side. So that was a good pass. It would have been nice to have had a completion there.
And we'll see their final attempt at making it to at least halfway on 4th down here. Tupu Taia, I reckon we might see a bit of a bomb go high and long, and there he is again.
Oh,
Ethan Hawkins, he made the catch. Here we go. No, this is the 4th down. I called it early. Sorry about that. There's still another play to go. So wasn't essential to have made halfway on that one, but it is this time. This is where the defense steps up. This is where they're excited. This is where a stop can mean their offense gets the ball back. And the Honey Badgers would love to put more points on the scoreboard right now, leading 27 points to 13 over AFC Spitfire. It's AFC Spitfire with the ball. Tupu Taia, a little bit of a dummy, and he's throwing one up over the top. And that's a turnover on downs. It's disappointing. Very disappointing, considering they did all the hard work. And it looks like Martin pulled up short again.
Got to keep running that route, you know, that shovel fake really brought, you know, the defense bet on that, and you just got to keep running that route downfield. That's the key to that play being a success.
So we do get to see though now some Honey Badgers back out there on offense. And they're an exciting offense, putting 33 points up in the last game. We get to see a team that really specialises in flag football. One of the early favourites for this tournament. Let it rip. There we go, end whistle. Straight to Bateman again. He's showing off his elusiveness. Spin, spin, spin. Just keeps on going. And frustrating for the taller, sort of lumbersome defenders for the AFC Spitfire when this little jackrabbit's bouncing around and eluding them with his little tags. This is where this is where you want to play contact.
That, yeah, lowering the shoulder, I guess, isn't the right terminology in this game, is it?
No, you definitely want to make sure he stops doing it to you because it's humiliating. Ball brought in there from Ben Manis. As the Honey Badgers just march their way up the field methodically again. The whistle brings them back into the huddle. He knows how important this drive is. This drive will put the game away. If I'm being completely honest, with 3 minutes left to go, this game is pretty much in the bag. But all the same, Nelson Honey Badgers want to finish off with a roar, and that's what they intend to do. As Jono Entwistle takes the ball, flings it out wide once again. seems to have found that favourite target out there in Ben McManus, and he's just running those hook routes, isn't he? Just sits out there and just stays, and if he needs to come back a bit to the ball, he will.
Yeah, and that slingshot action of Jono's really does get that ball there, you know. You just got to, you get yourself open, he'll get it there.
Yeah. What's the hook route? He's finding himself in a bit of space, and he starts coming back towards the quarterback just to make sure that no one gets in front of him and that ball is set. And Whistle has two wide receivers to his left, one to the right. Bit of a crossing route there. And look who it is. Captain Elusive, and he won't make it in for a touchdown, but he'll get pretty damn close. Mitchell Bateman again, picking up where he left off. Receiving yards, I mean, yards after the catch for Bateman must be ridiculous.
Yeah.
Meaning, wherever he catches the ball, that's one thing. But where he ends up, once they get his tag, that's a whole nother story. And Mitchell Bateman has been getting yards after catch galore in this one.
I guess being 5-man, you know, you get into that space and you keep going, you know, you're a hard man to catch.
Totally, wide receivers evenly split, one in the middle, two out wide. The two out widers do just get into the zone, and he's going to try and buy himself some space, and he does. That's Ben McManus, yeah, using his bucket really. That's what he did there. He planted his bucket straight in front of the defender and gave himself enough space and enough room. And Jono Entwistle threaded the needle and brought it in for 6 points. And they'll be going for one extra. It's impressive to watch. I mean, that's the type of route you run. It looks like there's no space there, but you bought yourself enough space by sort of planting the legs and giving Jono a nice wee target. It looks like a similar play again. So this time, it's Mitchell Bateman at the back of the end zone and brings in that extra 1 point. So we're seeing what this Nelson Honey Badgers team on all cylinders. They've been tidy all weekend, but this is kind of what we've been seeing from a team that are very, very good at flag football, right?
Absolutely, and yeah, like I say, we saw what the level we had to come to, and as you mentioned, the game previous to this, where they had the playoff game, you know, that game could have gone anyway. That was one of the highlights of the tournament, was that game, and Badgers were a big contributor to that.
Of course, we will see the Heat playing in the final. Now, we have another bit of a drop there. And some encouragement being given to Shin Katul, who just dropped that one. It was a tough catch. Had plenty of pressure on him, but you kind of got to make him. That's the whole idea of flag football. When you get those opportunities and the ball's anywhere near your hands, you've got to clasp it. March the whole team in the offense forward. So, AFC Spitfire have had a change in quarterback. And it's that man, Ethan Hawkins, who was doing so well with all the receiving. He's now throwing the ball, and the young fellas are all out there in receiver. And the centre's gone along. A little ambitious. That ball thrown a little too long for the receiver. So AFC Spitfire now really just going through the motions at the end of this game. They've been soundly beaten by the Nelson Honey Badgers, and a team that's well drilled, and looked like every play they called worked. Frustrating for a defense when that's the case, especially when you've got someone like Johnny Entwistle who gets that ball slingshot past you, and that offensive humming. Here we go. Ethan Hawkins rolls out to his right, throws across the field. It's a good throw, and it's well defended.
Well, that's that whole, you get your hand on the football, you either, one of two things happen. You either should catch it or you tap it down, one of the two.
I'm a big fan of this Brooke Keats and the idea of just slamming the ball down. Nothing can go too wrong when you get your mitt on it and push it into the dust, because we've all seen it when you try and pick a ball off and you tap it up in the air, and then all of a sudden it's a completion, and
well, they call the tip drill, you know, that's a big thing for defensive backs. You know, that ball, if you can get a hand on it, can go anywhere. So the tip drill's a big thing in all forms of football. So
totally,
if you can get that ball down, then all the better.
Hawkins, another rocket, lets it rip, goes up, Bateman, oh, Lawrence. Delicately caressed it with one hand, but couldn't bring it in. And that's a turnover on downs. We will see the Honey Badgers offense once again. Look at them. Yeah, they cannot wait. This team has, it's been a long weekend for them. That's probably very disappointing they're not playing off in the finals. Now they get to bring some of the young cats on and see what they can do. Johnny Entwistle's gone and picked up the plays, and he's running up and down the sideline. He was playing quarterback. He's going to be calling out plays from the sideline, which is great fun, as they start off with stacked receivers in the middle. And a bit of a dummy and a bomb up wide. And look at that, Bateman.
Go again.
He's got the wheels, and the elusiveness. Surely not. Defenders get to him, and 1 from 1. It's a tidy first up pass for the replacement quarterback, number 9, Drew Griffiths, or D-Roo, as you see on the back of his shirt. Not a bad statistic. What are you, 1 from 1, and what would you call it, 80 yards? It's a nice way of starting your day off. Drew Griffiths gets to the drive, gets the car keys to drive this offense. Again, stacked receivers all in the middle. And Gordon was, I'm going to go ahead and say Gordon found some space in the back of that end zone, but D-Roo didn't see him. And that play goes nowhere. I did find it quite funny, Martin, that the people watching on the stream and watching on TV at the moment, they can see the little roughet bits in the pitch, and it's a rabbit problem that they have here, which is that's comical to me. They've had to go around and fill in all the rabbit holes. So
Yeah, well, this once upon a time back in the 90s was actually our training ground. We used to train here.
the Metro Lions training ground.
In the 90s, yeah. There's a few boys watching over in Australia, I know, who are tuning into this, and they know that this is a big training ground for us back in those days.
Replay there as D-Roo finds Corporal Shane Gordon. Look at that. He's the Terminator. I'll be back of the end zone and caught it, brought it in. So Honey Badgers stacking up the score now and going for 1 point. Let's see how this goes with the replacement quarterback. Griffith, buying a bit of space, got hit in the guts there and sails out of the end zone. So they couldn't add on the extras, but they certainly got that touchdown. And I must say, Shane Gordon is an incredible athlete, well built, looks the part, and has a good set of hands on him as well. He's been pestering defences all weekend, and that was just another example of it. Just hanging out the back of the end zone and then pulling it in. So we get another chance to see AFC Spitfire. They'll want to put more points on the board. They don't want to leave, fly back to Christchurch with 13 on the board. They'll want more than that. As the quarterback, Ethan Hawkins, it's a rocket go, and it's deep, it's long. Oh, no. No. Flynn Marshall.
Should have had that.
Flynn Marshall knows he should have had that as well. He got through Mitchell Bateman and ended up right in the bread basket. Maybe a little lower than the bread basket, but still something that was very catchable. Ethan Hawkins. I say, Ethan Hawkins doing everything on offense during the receiving of it. Now showing us he's got a bit of a rocket arm as well. Performance he could be very proud of. Little head fake. Goes out to his right. It's another bomb. Let's see who this one is. And intercepted. Second intercept of the day for Ben McManus. And Ben McManus is doing it all. Great on offense. A couple of picks on defense. D-Mac, as you can see on the back of his singlet. And that one just floated away straight into the hands. McManus evades the first person grabbing the flag. And then Paul Lawrence, sideline eye reporter for the finals, managed to grab the tag. So there we have it. Honey Badgers back on attack. Late into the second. They would like more points as well. Just the 40, not enough for them. And Drew Griffiths playing at quarterback, split wide receivers. Bateman over the middle. Made a nice catch there. The game happening behind us at the same time. We've got the 5th and 6th playoff between the Wellington Wolves and who's that other team?
No, well, I think the previous game was 5th and 6th. This is the 7th and 8th.
7th and 8th, isn't it? Yeah, brought the Wolves, and there we go. Corporal Gordon again, making his way through, slicing the bread. Did lose a tag though, so it's not a touchdown exactly. But they will get another chance at it. Nelson Honey Badgers knocking at the door again. Gordon reattaching his flag. He didn't get it pulled, the wind blew it off him. Deru goes deep. Oh, Bateman. Great ups from Mitchell Bateman. He got right to the back of the end zone there and got high enough to be able to bring that one in, but it just sailed a little high.
Gets himself to that right spot every time, eh? The quarterback just wants you in the right place. You just got to get yourself there, and he seems to be there all the time.
Totally. It's almost like they lose him, and he just pops up exactly where the quarterback wants him.
Well, yeah, it's about that coverage, you know. If that's your man, you know, he just. There you go. See,
and he's given the touchdown as well. Got up over the much bigger defender.
He wanted more.
Gonna go. See, watch this again. It's a great pass. It goes up. Who's back there? That's our sideline eye supporter there, Paul Lawrence. He got mossed, and Mitchell Bateman. The man must be at least a couple of feet shorter than Paul Lawrence, but he got up, got over the top of him, and brought it in for another touchdown. And the Honey Badgers on fire. Nelson Honey Badgers, a team who will be pretty distraught that they're not playing in the actual finals, but here in the 3rd and 4th playoff, really putting the sting on the Christchurch AFC Spitfires as they go for the 1-point conversion now. They're looking to find someone open. Oh, there we go. Paul Lawrence gets his back by getting an intercept. That one will hurt him, I think. It'll hurt the ego when this much smaller player gets up over the top of you and brings in a touchdown.
Flag on the play.
Flag on the play, but it looks
no,
that's it. It's game over. It's all over, and it's the Honey Badgers of Nelson finishing the stronger of the two. AFC Spitfires from Christchurch, they'll go home knowing that they got 4th place in the tournament. And well done to the Nelson Honey Badgers, who managed to bring in 3rd place. Although after seeing that battle that they had with the Heat, I'm pretty sure 33 all and missing out on the countback, they would much rather be playing off in the next game.
Yeah, well, that game was worthy of a final. You know, I mean, all these teams that now that they've got to this stage probably deserve to be there. But that game was worthy of a final. You know?
The final will be the Lightning team, who you guys know so well with Metro Lions, Tamaki Lightning. That this is a team that you know very, very well. And Shiraz Sosa, I can see him over there in the corner doing his warm-ups, looking like Julio Jones himself, and taking on this Hawke's Bay side, who've really been teaching everybody else how to play this flag football.
I'll just say now, just for the record, that we did draw with the Lightning yesterday. So we were 1 point away from probably being that team in the final. But hey, that's football, you know. Full credit to the Lightning to getting there. But another benchmark team for us, especially in Auckland, with Shiraz's involvement in flag and like we know they're well drilled. So
Shiraz Sosa, of course, the coach of the New Zealand Makua team, and Martin Stowers, thank you so much for stopping by. All the very best for the Metro Lions and going forward, and let's see the sport explode and become New Zealand's favourite pastime during the summer. That's the goal anyway, so thank you for your time and your efforts and all the ongoing efforts with the Metro Lions team. So looking forward to coming back shortly and covering the final. Of course, we will see Tamaki Lightning taking on the Hawke's Bay Heat.
None of you people can tell me to lower the lights down, hand over my crown, hand over my heart. I do this for my town, I do this for my crowd. So turn me up real loud. My time,